what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Q Stream Vibes here. Tight ass Tuesdays. Not so tight for me, my Paddy man. He's on in the other room. Paddy.
Is it clear?
Seems pretty clear. It's worth it. Is it worth it,
mate? It's super clear. Holy crap!
Is it worth it?
Look how much better it is.
How clear is it compared to my old one, guys?
Mate, that's miles better. It's miles better.
All right. I'm getting, as long as I get $2,000 worth of comments and compliments.
$2,000 worth of comments and compliments. Is that all? Oh, stoked, mate. Are you on your brand new iPhone right now? Are you doing this with your laptop or your brand new phone?
This is the front camera. Yeah, this is the front camera. I thought I'd test it out.
Try the other side. Try the other side.
Just to give you guys the.
Oh, mate, I can see every blemish on your face. Perfect.
Where is the Where do you go for
every pimple and every scar.
Oh, yeah.
Petey, it's in the cam mic settings.
Here's
and
the back camera.
Look at that.
Oh, that's impressive. Look at that saturation. Look at those colors. Look at that contrast. Look at that blue in the sky, mate.
How's the latency?
Really good.
It's smooth.
Paddy, try moving to a spot where you're not completely backlit, which you still look great, actually, even though you're completely backlit. I think that might be even better. That's even better.
Yeah, it's great.
It's fantastic.
All right, Sean's next.
I'm up next.
It'd be funny as if Sean just decided to show us up and ball out and just be like brand new 16-inch MacBook Pro.
Like out of nowhere, he doesn't even tell us. He just jumps on the street and we're like, "Hey man, you think so bright today?"
Yeah, and then the next time we see him, he just happens to have it with him, and then who are you peasants?
And
who are these balls?
He's got those new those AirPods, the headphone ones.
AirPods 3 or something, right?
Yeah,
AirPod 3s, yeah.
And then when we're doing our next stream, suddenly he's in a Porsche driving and goes, "Hey guys, I'm on location today."
That'd be so good.
How was the swim, lads?
Yeah, it was really nice. I went for a brief swim, but I don't know. The water tasted a bit funny. It was a little bit sour or something. I don't know. Maybe they just did the treatment.
Jizz water.
I don't normally.
Jizz water, piss water, something like that.
I don't normally drink when I drink the pool water when I swim. I try not to.
Yeah. It's just I was feeling real thirsty, so I thought I'd have a few gulps.
You know what's funny about this is, you guys are in the same house but in different rooms. Me and Pat are in the same house but we're in different rooms as well.
That is pretty weird and funny.
No, well, I mean, the thing is, Sean and I could be sitting together, but then I think there's an echo. If we speak on the speaker, there's an echo. So, I care about these things. Sean doesn't. That's why he's there wearing earphones.
Yeah, well, that's why Pat didn't have his earphones on with him. That's why I had to move.
It's always going to be one out of the two.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us, Q Stream Vibes here with the boys. Tight ass Tuesdays. Not so tight for me and Paddy, but
it's gonna be now.
It's gonna be now. It's gonna be tight ass Tuesdays now. Tight ass Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for the next couple of months. But
tight ass 2022.
Yeah.
Tight ass 2022. But we've got a couple of interesting stories to share with you guys, and I think I shared with you guys earlier today that AI thing. Remember the AI?
Yes,
Android
the AIs.
So China has this new artificial intelligence that can prosecute criminals.
This looks horrible.
The AI drone that mutilates people.
Well, have a look. Bring it up, Paddy. I sent it in our group chat. But I just to keep it in China. That's fine. We don't want it anywhere else. Yeah, China created an AI prosecutor that can charge people with crimes. It's been trained to identify Shanghai's 8 most common crimes.
Which
is
RoboCop.
It's probably to do with theft and stuff, I would guess.
Yeah.
Maybe
Machine
not wearing a
learning
mask, coughing, having more than one baby. Who watches the Watchmen? Does it say anything there? The 8 most crimes.
And what's it say in the article? AI tool, who watches the Watchmen, put people in prison, chance for mistake. I guess what's good. What's lucky is that it is only the prosecutor, not the. It's only the prosecutor, not the defendant. That would be way worse. That'd be much, much worse.
Do you reckon it could get it wrong? Because
Yes.
like police.
Yeah, of
could
course,
get it wrong.
97%.
I think there's always a way to make a mistake.
What would you think? What would you think the 8 would be for China? Knowing your knowledge on going there and what you've read about China, what do you think that would be?
Talking
We
bad
already know
about
that-
government.
We already know North Korea is laughing. So
It's already done in North Korea. It's just we haven't heard about it on the news because it's secret.
how many days has it been since that rule? Has it been 11 days yet?
Have they started laughing or not? How many people have been put to death for laughing?
Good
Exactly.
question.
Yeah.
We will
It's probably not something to laugh. It's probably not something to joke about. Actually, that's horrible.
Imagine you're in trial and the judge is like, okay,
The judge says a joke.
yeah. He's like you've been sentenced to a death penalty for laughing 13 minutes 45 seconds.
It's so bad. And wearing the same jacket as Kim. Remember that was.
You didn't have a photo of Kim up on the wall. Straight to the death penalty.
Straight to
Yeah, that's
jail.
horrible. Straight to jail.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine what it would be like not being able to do what you want or want to do, or what you like. You're not being able to smile or laugh.
Yeah, like happiness, right?
I mean, look, there's certain things that we can't do in this country, like, talk shit about politics, basically, or like the government in any way, shape, or form. Certainly not publicly. Vietnam's not known for having a very open-minded attitude towards like free speech, or let alone freedom of the press.
Well,
So, we do have some restrictions.
protest.
But then, if you think in Australia, we're restricted from, oh, mate, if you have 2 beers, off to jail with you and drive.
2 beers.
Two beers and drive off to be. If they're full strength beers, you're going to be well over.
Full strength beers.
Full strength beers, straight to jail.
You're allowed 1 beer in the first 2 hours, and then 1 drink every hour after that.
So the rule is for men. You're supposed to be able to have 2 beers, mid-strength beers, in the first hour, and then 1 beer every hour after that to be basically on the limit. But even if you're like 0.051, you're still over it, and the police can just literally just take you to jail and be like, off you go to jail overnight.
You gotta be lucky to get a copper
So,
that's lenient, and they might go, okay, look, I'm going to test you again in 20 minutes. When you're ready
If you're
to run
lucky.
on the border,
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
So, like there's swings and roundabouts. There's some good things about this place and some good things about Australia. And actually, I've got some Chinese friends who actually they have no problem with the whole like surveillance state thing that they've got going on, because they sort of explain that like there's like 1.2 or 1.3 billion people that live here. So if there wasn't like more control, if there wasn't a surveillance state, like it would basically just be anarchy and it'd be shit for everyone. So I think a lot of Chinese people sort of have this opinion that like it's okay to give up some of our freedoms in return for having a functioning society, which is kind of like, and also don't forget that they've given some of these freedoms up for having huge economic growth in the last 20 years. It's like they've lifted something like 500 million people out of poverty in the last 20 years, which is, I mean, it's an incredible result when you look at it sort of like from a macro lens. But like the contract that the Chinese people have with their government is that we will give up our freedoms and we'll only vote for the one party that exists in return for this economic progress, essentially.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Don't know.
Deep conversations on this Tuesday afternoon.
Don't know. I mean,
Like-
I might have a different view on it if I grew up in that system.
You
as
would.
opposed to someone
You certainly
who
would.
So interesting indeed.
Sean, what do you think? Give us your scholarly opinion on this.
I think
the Mars.
I think it would just be a whole different world to be followed around by a AI camera that's surveilling every moment and thing that you do, and the thought idea of doing something bad, even in the smallest sense, will be captured on camera, and that would just that would change your thought and idea process from like, no, you can't fuck up, you can't do anything wrong. But
Yeah, you'd certainly have to stop being a criminal, mate.
yeah, and so like how you'd have to, I don't know what you'd have to do, change your face or like put on masks so they don't identify you, or how can you get
On
away?
that, have you guys seen those like anti-facial recognition masks and like and makeups? They're super cool. I'll send a link so you can. I'll find it and send a link so you can.
Well, like it changes your feature from down here, or
Yeah, so it's kind of like camouflage for your face, so that like your facial features can't be recognized by the AI. Anti-facial recognition.
So you can't come out. You can't walk out house for like.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's actually really cool. It's like super interesting. Here, I'll show it.
straight out. If you walk out like that, they'd be go, yeah, that's PD Magic.
With that long hair, certainly.
It's like, oh, yep, we see a clown face. That's PD Magic.
You might have to zoom in on it because it's only the picture's only small on the web page, but it's there.
Okay, let me have.
It's funny because when I did the facial recognition setup for the phone, I had my hat on like this, and then after you finish it, like, because you know how with your fingerprint you got to go different sort of angles with your thumb like that or whatever finger. Yeah. With this one, I was doing my whole face like this, and then as it got one of it done, it goes, "Is there another look that you have?" So then I had to take my hat off and do the same thing with another look. So
These are really cool looking.
Anti-facial recognition makeup. Wow. Okay, so that's.
Patty, I'll send you. I found a page with like way bigger photos. Hang on a sec.
Cool.
Yeah, go use that link instead.
Cool, bro.
What? So that's supposed to bypass the recognition?
Yeah. So see those geometric shapes that like especially on the guys' faces, it's quite clear. So there's geometric shapes especially with the black and like the stripes and stuff. They prevent the AI from recognizing certain points on your face that
contours, right?
That like those are the contours, those are the points that the machine looks for, and then creates kind of like a map of your face, and that map is what gets compared to like a database. But those like stripes and black parts and stuff prevent the machine from recognizing certain points on your face, which are kind of like critical points.
Yeah.
So there we go. So that's a big
Maddie, you know what this reminds me of? You remember when like a brand new car would come out and the
yes.
The makers
Camouflage
would,
paint.
Makers would camo the paint just so
Yes.
no one could pick out the body lines of the brand
Yes.
new model. It's similar.
It's exactly like that. Yeah.
It also reminds me of the movies. Like, this is the resistance, the last of the human resistance going against the AIs and the cyborgs, and that's sort of their war paint that we go to war with.
Yeah.
Who are you? We're the resistance. What's with they can't recognize us with this look, you know? It's a perfect storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, isn't London the most surveyed city in the world? Is that true?
It is. Yeah, I believe it is.
But surveyed,
You would think it would be like someplace in China, right? But you know, he might be right.
but surveyed and used in ways that China's using, or no? I don't think it's used the same
I don't
way
think
as
they're
China.
used in the same ways.
Who knows? It's probably not advertised overly.
Because
overly
during
heavily.
COVID, China had their CCTV that if they saw anyone without a mask on, it would announce from a speaker, "Put your mask on."
Yeah.
I don't know if London says that.
Just reading some numbers here, it says that based on the number of cameras per 1,000 people, these cities are the top 20 most surveyed in the world. London, 691,000 cameras for 9.4 million people. So you're looking at 73.3 cameras per 1,000 people.
Damn.
Interesting.
I mean, the only time I've sort of experienced facial recognition is at the casino back home in Brizzy.
Yeah, that's big in the casinos.
Yeah.
For all the players that's flagged and not allowed to be.
Yeah, they got about like 20 something.
In the last few years in Australia, they've started using like scanning and facial recognition technology even at clubs and stuff. So you know when you go in, like you have like your ID and like your ID gets like put into like a machine and scanned, and then I think it compares it against your actual face on a camera. So that stuff is like commercially available now, not just for a government, but also for like private use. Having said that, I think you need like a special permit or whatever to be able to use it. Like I think you actually have to be like a licensed nightlife club venue kind of thing to use it. Otherwise, it's kind of infringing on people's privacy. Speaking,
you just got a nose job. Like if you a chick just got a nose job, you know. So, like,
yeah, that's it. Or what if you have to wear a mask? I suppose, right?
Yeah.
But there's sort of like there's been some interesting news around the world about people sort of like caring more and more about their privacy, including like facial recognition stuff. And I think I mean, actually, we talked about the Clearview.ai sort of debacle where that dude actually built a program that like just harvested everyone's like social media profiles and built a database out of it and made an absolute shit ton of money basically out of selling people's personal information by scraping and harvesting all the social media websites. And I think I read that San Francisco, like not long ago, introduced a bill where they said like no facial recognition whatsoever in public, which is, I mean, in my opinion, I think that's a move in the right direction.
That sounds right. Yes, sir.
No facials, eh, boys?
No facials. I love a good facial. With the cucumbers, slices.
Sure you do, mate, with cucumbers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just he's a
Shave
good
a cucumber on your face.
Here's a good little sort of fun little thing you can do with when you go to get a massage, and the girls when they do the light, I guess, facial pulses with their fingers, they'll say, "Do you want to do the cucumber slices on the face for the cooling, right?" And I always pretend I went, "Cucumber," and they're like, "Yeah, cucumber." And they say, "Yeah," and then they'll take it and they'll show it, and then they have the slicer as well. I went, "Oh, like the ones you put in the bun meat." And they're like, "Yeah, okay." So after they finish it, and then they take it off, it's like maybe 10 minutes. They take it off. I said, "Are we allowed to eat that? Can you give me some soy sauce?"
So
always gets a guaranteed little laugh out of them.
So
Like,
gross.
who does that?
Matt's got a good question here. Peter.
Sean's like, "Yep, I'm gonna go try it."
Yeah.
What do you guys think about those vloggers filming secretly? I think in America there's a gray area where certain public spaces, if you're in there, you're allowed to use a camera. So anyone who walks past there might be a signage saying surveillance camera in use or something like that. So if you walk in there, it's kind of like an applied consent from you. So if anything was to happen, you can't really say anything because you've walked within that area. But
if you guys want,
you should.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I was just saying in general, I think if you're going to film a show or something, whether you film it from a distance and not tell them, if you're going to use that footage, you should go up to them and say, at least afterwards, "Hey, look, we were filming that. It was a social experiment. Are we allowed to use your footage? Are we allowed to use it?" If they say yes, maybe you can get that on camera, or they sign a form. If they say no, that's where you see some videos, they'll blur out the person's face. Yeah. Oh, yeah, so...
Glory to the detriment.
So if you guys want to hear about like the Australian laws, I actually had to look into this because I was doing photography for a long time, right? And so I actually looked at like the laws and regulations about whether you're able to take photos of people in public. Obviously, in a private situation, like you can't take photos like into a building of people in their like private property, even if they're like curtains are open or whatever. You still can't do it. Like that's illegal. But if I think the rule was something like if you have the expectation that you're going to be out in public, then like a reasonable expectation that like you're going to be in public and that people can see what you're doing, then you're allowed to take photos of people. And I think that there was an exception with children where it's like you're not allowed to do that, and obviously for good reason. So and I can't remember like if there was like an age cutoff or not, but it's something like taking photos of like adults in public in a situation that you're expected to be like reasonably expected to be like in public and be seen. It's totally cool, and you don't have to ask people anything. You don't have to get their permission, like nothing like that. But if you're on private property, not allowed to, and of minors, you're definitely not allowed to.
Nice.
So that's the rules in Australia.
What if just I'll quickly answer AT. We are in Taoding. Me and Patty are in Taoding. We're just at a mate's place. See? Good old bubble, mate. But just on that, Matty, what if, like you said, you can't take a photo or film into someone's building, private space, but what if you were just doing photos outside, and you know how you kind of you're just looking around and you go and then you see something, and then maybe a crime happens?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah,
that might be like circumstantial evidence or something like that, given that you're not a police officer. Like police probably have like the powers to be able to do stuff like that. Yeah. But I don't think private citizens do, and I suspect that like lawyers would fight that in court. Lawyers would be like, well,
would it be would it be a crime if imagine like you're filming something, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we were doing our bike filming today, and then in the background you see something like like a fight and someone dies, but you don't report it because you're too scared.
Mhm.
Mm.
So you
Isn't
had
that
it.
don't you get in trouble for not reporting that?
If you're a witness,
I don't know.
Like you
That's something I'd have to look up.
well, you're supposed to. I mean, when they make a public announcement from the police, they said anyone in the area who has any information or saw this, please come forward. They said that. I guess that's up to you. I mean, I don't think you must come forward, but it's considered the right thing to do by your community, by your neighbors.
Maybe AT can answer us, give us an answer about what constitutes being an accessory for murder. It sounds like he's got the lowdown.
Yeah. He's going to go, guys, let me wash my hands first.
Well, while we wait for AT's answer, let's cut to a quick Pomodoro. And we'll be right back with good old AT.
Take.
And they sound just like this. And they sound just. And they sound just. Very tight, how we supposed to keep this secret?
Welcome back to the Q Stream Vibes here with the pugs. It's actually Toby's birthday today. Where are you, Toby?
Here he is.
Toby, he's 4 years old, guys. Check him out. Toby, there he is. It's his birthday.
Happy
That
birthday.
little bastard. Oh shit! Sorry, guys. So, what was that? AT? I don't think he's gonna be ready to tell us. Nah, bro. I only watch Suits.
Great show, by the way, Suits. I like that show, AT.
So the cops
I'd say the cops would be able to get a court order to seize your footage. Yeah, because like for example, I see a lot of like club fights, like outside club fights.
Yeah,
And
they
with
demand
today's
footage.
day and age, there's a lot of people, bystanders, just standing around filming. So, they're always like, oh, yeah. And if a cop knows, or if they see other footage saying, hey, we need this guy's footage because he looks like he's been there filming longer than the footage they have, and that could be substantial evidence to show that maybe, this guy didn't start the fight or whatever the case is. So I think that's that's the only exception possible, maybe. I mean, if they don't know you filmed it, you have every right not to come forward. But you would feel guilty. Let's say if you were the only one, sort of, I guess, one piece of evidence that could change the whole outcome. So
AT says, question to the boys, has the advent of reporting and filming for the internet made people wusses?
why would they make him a wuss?
I don't know about wusses, but
I mean,
I
because
think
it's this
more
day and
like-
age. It's just what happens.
more of like tattletaling, or like just, I don't know, more it's obvious to find out what happened, easy to show. Not wusses, but
Yeah.
letting too many people see the information.
Maddie sponsored by One Code.
You're a mute, Maddie.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, certainly am sponsored by Ron Code. They were kind enough to send me this T-shirt out. So yeah, but I'm working with them on setting up a representative office because we want to hire some developers here in Vietnam for both front end and back end. So, but yeah, great company, great team.
Maddie loves the back end.
I do love the back end.
Shit. Paddy, we had an article about VinFast, was it? It was about VinFast.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about VinFast not long ago.
Yeah, because of the bikes. But get this, guys. The CEO of VinFast has been fired just after
Fired?
No, he didn't get fired. He went to Europe and to continue working for the company.
Are you sure that's what they always say, right?
Well, I mean that's what it says in the second paragraph.
They got rid of him.
That was fast.
Yeah, what is it? 5 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 months is not a long time. Maybe they didn't like his whiteness. Maybe they're like, no, we need like Vietnamese people in a Vietnamese like chairing like Vietnam's biggest company, isn't it?
Bro, I know exactly why he's moving back to Europe.
Oh,
Why?
why?
So I was
Is he
told
your
that
homie?
I was told that his visa ran out, and they wouldn't extend it, so he had to go back to Europe.
Sounds about right.
Mm.
Well, he could have enjoyed some more of the EVs, but he decided not to.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, At rumor had it that it's toxic environment. That is very true. I've heard a lot of bad things about working for VinFast or anything big anyway.
So
Interesting.
normally the word on the street is quite a reliable source.
Matty Cowan.
Sounds
That
Vin.
being-
I like it. All right, At, what would you like to talk about? You say this every stream. What do you want to talk about, mate?
He wants to talk about what a real man is and how people are wusses if they don't do things.
This is men shouldn't cry, men can't wear pink.
Men cannot have feelings.
Let's talk about it, AT. Come on, mate. Waiting for you.
I can't get over how good both of you guys look on your new cameras, which are attached to other devices, which are all brand new. Look at you both.
They're so clear. They're
So
ridiculous.
handsome, so clear.
After 10 years, I had to update, you know. It's the only time I can afford it after 10 years. I've saved up enough.
That's it.
Well,
It's the stream money. Stream money's paying for it.
NFT money's paying for it.
chicks, crypto, bikes. Okay, in what order? Okay. All right, chicks. I think chicks are an essential part of the chicken, hen, egg production line of existence. We don't eat chicks, but we do eat the eggs.
Mate, if you're having that half-hatched duck egg, that's kind of like a chick, isn't it?
There's a
Supposed to
good
need to be
topic.
chicken, right?
Tell us about your Dalat trip, because AT went to Dalat on a date. That's
AT
why we didn't see you. We
Dalat.
didn't see you, Maddie, when you were there.
But this is his response, boys. Nah, private.
Private.
What a wuss. Won't even tell us.
No, well, we'll get whoever you brought. We'll tell him on. We'll get him on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get your date on the stream.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll like to be on it too. So.
I eat oysters, bro. You know what I mean. What is it? Explain, bro. I don't know what you mean. Sean, Maddie, Petey, do you know what he means?
I do know what he means, but it's not true.
Oysters.
Oysters. You got
You
to
don't
eat
eat oysters, bro.
You need a hell of a lot of oysters to get the
aphrodisiac
natural
out of it.
aphrodisiac. Yeah, it doesn't even. You don't even need that much.
Like how many? How many are we talking, Peter?
It's supposed to be a lot. Like I could probably throw away a dozen because it's just when I'm eating for fun, and that doesn't even make you horny. And I was like, this doesn't do anything. And when you look it up, they say you got to eat a hell of a lot. Like it's heaps. It's like a hell of an amount of zinc for you even start feeling anything. May as well just get some horny goat weed.
Do they sell that here? Do they?
I'm not
Or do you have
sure.
other
I know they sell goats, but I don't know about the horny weed.
I know they sell goats and they sell weed, but not the horny goat weed.
Just blend them together.
Blend it.
Yeah.
But what was
I
the
don't know.
highlight of the trip, At? Just give us that detail at least. What was the one highlight of Dalat for you? Because
Did
we're
you
going
use-
next week. We're going next week.
And also, did you use protection? I'm just curious.
What? Mangoes.
Man,
Mangoes. What you get? Rock hard. What? Hard headache.
It's possible that he's talking in code about something else.
yeah.
I don't. Boys, I don't get it.
So is he saying when a man goes and gets help, he gets rock hard?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
that's what I
I
think
think it
it
was a
is.
typo. Highlight coffee. It's the bomb. And you're boring, bro. You're telling us to do all this stuff on
Boring.
stream. When we ask you something,
Keyboard warrior.
proper keyboard troll.
Keyboard troll.
Highlight coffee is the bomb. Okay.
What was our we had a third article?
We
the bottom
did
there?
have a third article. It was Spider-Man. Have you
Any
guys seen it
guys
yet?
seen it? I haven't seen
No,
it.
I
Yes,
haven't
I've
yet.
seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Out
I've
of
seen
10?
the preview. The preview looks all right, but I don't know. I don't know.
What does blue
I
sook mean? I don't know what a blue sook means. I'm black, bro.
I think he's saying like from New South Wales, probably.
Ah.
First pandemic era movie to
All
smash
cool
1 billion.
stuff. He said, what's the cool stuff? Tell AT, we're asking you, what is cool stuff, bro? What is your cool stuff? Chicks. We're asking you about chicks, but you don't want to talk to us about the chicks. Come
Instead,
on,
it's
man. You got to
private.
give and take here.
Maybe he wants the chicks with dicks.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
That's certainly an interesting subject.
There you go.
Raw dogging. There you go.
AT, you need to get out more, bro.
Yeah, you do. You too.
You know what's the hardest bit?
So Spider-Man is like 2.5 hours,
Yeah, what's hard?
and apparently, Maddie, all 4 Spider-Mans are in it.
All 4?
Yeah,
How the fuck does that work?
they all have like some sort of a cameo.
Come him up, I didn't have it. Pick him up.
Tobey Maguire, freaking Andy Garfield. Is it Garfield?
All right, here we go, guys. We've got a topic from AT finally.
Okay.
He said, speaking of chicks with D's, if you had no choice, would you? Finally, your true color came out.
Oh
I
my
love it.
god. Have no
What do you
choice
mean
of
if you have
what?
no choice? Like
Be more
what, you getting
specific.
raped or what? I don't understand.
Here you go.
Bang a chick who was a dude, or a dude who was a chick, and dying isn't an option. There's no right answer.
Oh yes,
All right, you
there's an obvious right answer for that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and answer that, even though it's like obviously a trolling thing.
What's
If
the
it's
option?
a
Bang a
chick
chick
that was a
with dick?
dude, and it looks, the whole point is that there's that like she will look like a chick, therefore you're attracted to someone who's feminine. Therefore, why the hell not? I'd be totally cool with that. Whatever.
I concur.
I'm the same. The same. I mean, I think I'm at the stage where I guess when you've tried everything, you might as fucking well, you know. Like, it doesn't hurt.
What was that ad back home in Australia? You'll never ever know if you
Yeah,
never.
never ever go. It was a holiday one. You never know.
Yeah.
No, if you never ever go. Yeah, that's the one. I wonder what AT would do.
I want to know what AT would do. Come on, AT, give us your answer.
Yes, AT, what would you do?
Yeah, I wonder what AT would do. AT would. He would go for the dude. He would go for the dude that was the dude now that used to be a girl. That was a girl. That's what he would do.
Transferred.
Because AT seems like a morals person, so he would biologically want them, whoever was the girl, and then if they look like a guy now, it didn't matter.
But
It's
he's
the
already
fact-
done that, bro.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He would choose.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
True.
Whereas we would be more attracted to the physical, because it's just for a physical. You're not fucking gonna have feelings or anything. So we would go more of something that is supposed to that looks like a woman, even if it was previously a guy.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's right.
Interesting.
Nah, lights on, mate. What were your lights off for?
Lights on, baby.
Lights off. That means AT's probably done it with all sorts of prawns. Yeah. Random news, Shoni. What do you got?
Hemotep.
What?
There has been an unwrapping digitally of a famous mummy. I think it was Hemotep.
A famous mummy.
Amenhotep.
Is that the name of the pharaoh? Pharaoh, right? Pharaoh.
Yeah, the pharaoh Amenhotep.
Pharaoh.
From 3,500-year-old. It's digitally unwrapping and peeling off virtual layers of like its face mask and bandages.
When they backtrack on how old it is and whatever formula or I guess technology they're using to see the duration
X-ray
of
probably.
how accurate is that? Do you reckon, or is part of it, or a lot of it is just of what they predict as a hypothesis?
No, I'm sure there's some sort of. I'm sure they look at like how you can get like an MRI and a CT scan and all of that to sort of like see inside yourself or like just bodies generally. I'm sure they can use that technology to do. And the way it works is like they make like hundreds of slices, like super thin slices going from like bottom to top or top to bottom or whatever. And then they can probably like create like a 3-dimensional image out of that, just like they do for like diagnostics and stuff for like medical purposes. Without actually cutting you open, they can see what's inside you. So I suspect it's that.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll say further down. Just have a look.
Because there was a thing going on about dinosaurs. So when they find all these bones and fossils and stuff, and then they sort of piece it together to get what they think the dinosaur would look like, it still doesn't tell them that what we see them in the movies with that sort of rough edge skin is necessarily what they actually look like. They could be they could be furry and soft.
Mm. There you go, CT scans.
Yeah, definitely CT scanning, digitally unwrapping. I think that's crazy. To run into one of these guys.
So I wonder what. So if the wrap is really good and tight, it's still supposed to be quite preserved well, yeah.
Yeah.
With that amount of time.
I mean, I think like the embalming process was like pretty serious. Like it was like something that took a long time and a lot of resources and stuff. But I mean, I suppose if you're the pharaoh, then you would have had those sort of resources.
That's crazy.
These guys were before our times.
Well, we got the opposite technology with Steve Aoki. He is one of many that has signed and paid for himself to be. Was it frozen, Penny?
Who?
Preserved and frozen, and then kept in storage for a point in time where research and technology would be advanced enough to bring him back, if possible, in a later date in the future.
So on that, I think we've talked about this previously. I've just sent a link. This is a fantastic, like an incredible read about a guy who sort of tries to explain things very logically, and sort of like he did a bunch of research on cryonics, which is the thing that you're talking about, and like he comes up with some pretty good reasoning. Like sort of it goes into like explores what it's all about, like what it actually means, how they do it. What like the problems are, like the obstacles to be overcome to actually like make it work, and then goes into sort of like like maybe this is something that you're interested in because if you do it and you don't like it, you essentially don't have anything to lose. Like it doesn't cost a huge amount of money, but on the other hand, if you don't like it, then you can just be like, well, put me back in the freezer for a bit. But if you scroll a little bit further down, like the diagrams are interesting and sort of they tell a really interesting story. So, yeah, basically it talks about like how to do it. Like, okay, there we go. So it talks about like what dying actually involves. That it's actually a process. It's not like a sudden moment. But like clinical death and legal death further on the left, and then there's info death about like where you can't, there's nothing to recover at that point, and it's actually a process. And so back when I was working at Queensland Health, for a while we looked at the process of like the end of life and about like how that all works, which I've talked about previously on this live stream. And about like the fact that like the way that we do this currently is pretty horrible. Old people don't get looked after. It's most especially old people don't really get looked after well. It's not like a humane process, and there's a lot of like hang-ups, like religious hang-ups and legal problems with doing this the best possible way. And then sort of the cryonic stuff comes in between the place where in between the moment of like that like clinical death, where it's like you're no longer able to be resuscitated, you're pretty much dead, versus like the info death, where it's like the information of your character and personality is actually forever gone and there's nothing to recover. So it comes in between there, and they're able to like, even with current technology, they're able to save your body in a way that that information isn't lost and preserve it into the future. Up until the point that it can be hopefully recovered. Super interesting article. If you've got an hour spare, or if you've got like time to sort of skim over it, it's an incredible read and very, very objective. Like, it's not, the dude didn't go into it with like a preconceived idea or whatever. He kind of just like explored the information that exists and kind of like looked at that and made up his mind from there. So yeah, incredibly interesting read.
Saving that. Interesting indeed.
Process of death.
I'm still curious to learn more about are you gonna send me the link, Patty, of the pyramid thing that you watched? That's how it's still unexplained to this day on how they could have possibly done.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
That with the technology that they had back then, unless there was something that we don't know about.
Yep, Chicks Digs Nerd, mate.
Mate, if anything, out of us, AT, all of us here, you look the most nerdy.
That's so true.
Aliens created it. Who knows, mate? Who knows? Could have been your mum that made it too.
Yeah, mum.
Good old mums, mate. Mums know everything.
Mums are great.
Mums are great. There you guys, a bit of a view.
Oh man, beautiful.
Oh, mate, you must be looking at that on a brand new iPhone.
We're getting really nice sun today. Nice to.
It's a $2,000 view, mate.
Well worth it.
Well, not even 2,000, but yeah. How dare you body shamed me, mate? You were like, AT was like literally fighter ready, competition ready, back in the day when he was training, ready to fight professionally, but then he decided to give it up.
Why?
Don't know. Maybe it's private, you know. It wasn't cool enough. It's private. AT, we got to get you to come out to the bubble to hang with us. There's glow in the dark golf here, and then we'll go have some beers with the boys. You don't have to drink, and we'll go get some traditional Vietnamese food too.
Just make sure you get a visa, because it's so far. You need a 14-day visa, and you'd need to quarantine as well too, AT.
I'll pay for your fuel, AT. I'll fill your tank up when you get here. All right, how about this, AT? Come hang out at Toight, or Suck a dude's dick. There.
Mate, he'd pick.
Wow, what a choice.
He would pick the latter for sure.
He would figure that because he hates Toight.
He hates Toight. Toightin's a shithole. So he'd definitely
Really not
suck.
that bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Or you know what? If that's the case, we'll all come out to your neighborhood, AT. Take us around your neighborhood.
Where does he live?
He says he lives in D4, but he lives in D1. He lives on this side of the river, like, oh, you know how the river that splits D1 and D4? He's on this side of the river.
So D1, technically in the districts.
So, when you guys want to return to EVs, we can do it. We can do it because Maddie leaves Thursday morning.
Should tell AT to come. He loves that neighborhood.
It's either got to be tomorrow morning, or sorry, I mean it's got to be either tomorrow, or
Well, that's it. It's tomorrow. That's it.
well,
Yeah,
or next week.
Okay, let me reach out to him again and ask him exactly what day we got to return it.
I mean, tomorrow's probably better given that, like.
It's just because
I mean,
if we give it
if
this
Sean wants
week,
to write it around, then yeah.
it's just that if we do it, then it's before the new year. You know, that's all. This week just makes it difficult.
Still tomorrow.
tomorrow in the
What's your
morning.
sketch? What's your sketch, Patty?
Don't know. I gotta check. Real quick.
Tuesday.
I'll let you know
We'll figure
if
it
I
out.
can get out of
See you
detail
later. See you later.
later.
The hen people.
Yeah, show us the hem people.
It's like the swamp people.
Don't be jealous, AT. All right, mate.
Oh, those poses are the best. Those pictures are phenomenal.
Mate,
I think they turned out sick.
I smell some FOMO. Someone's FOMO here.
Someone's definitely FOMO here.
AT, if you're really that jealous, I'm sure one of us will give you a ride on the EV.
Like,
Definitely.
I'll tell you, AT is a confused admirer. He loves us. That's why everything we do, he's a hater. He's a hater. He jumps on. He takes time out of his own day to jump on to hate on our stream.
No, that's all right. I appreciate it. I appreciate the banter.
I love it. I love it. Just come hang next time, AT. When we return to EVs, come with us because we're going to stay out in D7 and have something to eat as well.
Yeah, no, we're grabbing a feed and probably might hang out in D7. So come through, AT.
I might try and have a feed for some chicks for you, mate, just so you can be happy.
Some baby chicks.
Baby chicks.
Baby chicks.
I'm mad jealous. Awesome. Don't worry. We'll help you. We'll help you. Well, our Powers Up, Tight Ass Tuesdays is in a full effect.
Look at that view.
So I got something for you. I got something for you, boys.
Ooh.
Because Sean brought up the mummies and stuff like that. So let's. What do you call a mummy that's covered in chocolate and nuts?
What?
A Ferrero Rocher.
I hate to see you feel alone. Nothing is right.